Tom's half-drawn body had been embedded in a tree for 20 days or so. Several explorers passed by the area, seeing this scene, thinking that Tom was dead. But then Tom suddenly opened his eyes wide. The men were terrified. When Tom saw someone, he immediately called for help. "Water! Give me some water!" Ahem. However, when the men cautiously came up to them, they noticed that Tom was carrying a laser cannon of sorts. Just as the men were at a loss for words, Tom grabbed Adam by the shirt. "You've got to dig me out of the tree." The men looked at it. "Oh my God! How can we dig this out? We can't dig with our hands either." They saw that Tom was going to die, so they looked around for tools. They searched for tools. They soon arrived at a nearby experimental site. But after a long search, there was not a single sharp tool, so the two girls started looking for painkillers, and their teammate inadvertently clicked on the video on the computer, and it was only after watching it that they realized why that Tom was in the tree. It turns out that he had been working on an experiment to travel in 3 dimensions, and the thing that Tom was holding was a 3-dimensional travel device. I guess Tom had experimented in the wrong direction, so he got himself embedded in a tree branch. With that in mind, Adam and his companion rushed off to find Tom, but when they got there, they found that Tom was not breathing. One of his companions noticed something strange about Tom's arm. He hastily lifted up his sleeve. He saw that Tom's arm was bruised and battered by needles. There was a medicine bottle under the tree. The two men thought to themselves, "It looks like someone has just been here. We can't stay here for long. Let's get out of here." So they ran back to the base. When their companions were informed of the situation, they decided to leave this hellhole as soon as possible. But then outside the door, suddenly, there was a knock at the door. The bold Adam. He opened the steel door with a pistol in his hand. He dragged Mark, who was knocking, into the house. After a deeper look, he learned that Mark's companion had also been set in the wood. So the men, armed with medicine, they followed Mark to rescue him. But by the time they reached the cabin, his companion was already caught in the door and not breathing. That's when Adam suddenly smelt. There was a smell of paraffin in the house. Before he could check it out, the fire that had started outside the house engulfed the cabin. The men rushed to put out the fire with their coats. At that moment Adam spotted the tools in the corner, so he hurriedly grabbed it. Then he called some of his friends together, pressing the button. At this point, the old man is in the house. He was relaxing with his afternoon tea. The men swiftly arrived in front of him. He looked confused. "How did you guys get in here?" "It's okay, sir. We time traveled in the wrong direction." They said goodbye to him and headed for home.